Hey, Brian from Garage Mahal. Today we are putting on a soft tonneau cover onto our Ford F-150 Lightning. It's the same size as a regular F-150, except that obviously it's electric. And this is the 5.5 foot bed on here. So let's open that up. Let's get the box opened. So that is our cover. And these are our rails. Got some foam, directions, and then your hardware. Okay, so let's open up this. So that is our directions. Basically go page by page. So let's get this unwrapped. All right, so I'll take a look at the rails. This is going to be your back section, and this is where the cover is going to lock into. So let's just basically kind of like set that down in place. Then this is the foam that's going to go at the head, and it's a good idea to get some like rubbing alcohol, wash that area down to kind of keep any of that, any debris that might be on there out of the way. And then this is our hardware box. Those are hardware brackets. So pretty neat design. Basically what that will do, that'll clamp down onto the body, and then when you screw this down, get that in there, and you start turning that down with a ratchet, that will lock it onto the truck. So next step is basically kind of looking. What you need is the weather seal up towards the top. So I'm going to go get some rubbing alcohol and a rag, and we'll go through that real quick. All right, so let's open this up and get the cover situated so we kind of know how far apart we can make the rails. Let's get this undone. So it's plastic on that side. Well, one thing's for sure, they really wrapped this really well. Right, so let's get this basically undone here. I'll step up. All right, this looks like it's the front. So basically you have this piece going to here. And then that locks that rail in on that side. And then same thing on this side. This goes in. Let's kind of get this centered. All right, so that looks like that's about how that rail's going to go. All right, basically what we're going to do. All right, so depending on your F-150, this Lightning, it has a little bit of a dip here. So what I'm going to do is we're going to spray some rubbing alcohol. I'm going to clean this little ledge off. Okay, now we're going to cut the foam to size because on the underside of this, now I got the rail in, there is foam here, but we want to put foam here to kind of like make a little bit of a weather gap. So that is your foam. So bed rail lower than the side rails wherever needed. So you're basically going to start stripping this back. And we're going to aim for the middle. And then where we have the overlap, we're just going to cut. Just stretch it a little bit. And if you hear any noise in the background, we have some noisy neighbors. And then basically just pushing that down. Make sure it makes a good contact. Then again, we move this. And we're going to kind of line this up right on the edge. And then we're going to push this right to the edge here. And then on the edge on this side. So we're pretty well situated. And I'm coming right to the end here where this little ledge is. So we can adjust how the bed will lock into place. Okay, now we'll put our brackets in. And again, we'll start from back here. And basically what you're doing is you're bringing it out that far. And you're kind of pulling it underneath. And feel underneath, you'll be able to feel where there's gaps that this will fit pretty good. And then you're going to bring that up. And then it's basically going to clamp on like that. And then I'm going to slide it down until I can't go any further, until I hit a gap there. And then basically what we're going to use is we're going to use a ratchet to screw this in. Just watch your fingers. Okay. And so that's about that. We're going to keep it that tight for now until we get them all mounted in place. But let's put one on this other side so we can keep the spacing good. This one I'll put right here. there. Grab a couple more. I'll put these two up towards the head. And remember, there is an adjustment screw here, so when we're all completely done, make sure that you screw that down. I'm going to put this one as far forward as we can. And just by feeling underneath here, I think that's probably going to be right about there. We'll make them tighter once we get the final adjustment. And again, feel underneath, see where you can put that in place. Okay, so that one's pretty tight. And then the last two we're going to try to put in the middle. And we'll just kind of like visualize the middle right there. Okay. We'll put the last one over here. Right about there, middle. Okay, and like I said, don't put it super tight in the beginning, just so we have some adjustment room. Okay. Okay, and then what you're doing is you are basically, that's kind of like the little knuckle point that all these work off of. And then we're going to get this other side in. So, and then what you're doing is you're going to put that down, but first you want to put your bed up. Because then what this does is that makes a seal down on top of that as it locks into place. There we go. So that basically makes a seal over the top. And then if you look down the side, what happens is, and if you look down the side, that's your Velcro that holds that down. You want to look here, make sure it kind of looks pretty well straight all the way down. And that is basically your install. So open this up. And then you're going to have a release under here. You have this little cabling system on the other side. Let me put some light on that. Yeah, that is your cable to release the sides. So basically just pull that down, and then that will open up for you. And then you can roll it. We're going to roll it out of the way. tighten up these brackets. And then you have these cool buckles here. So when you have this open, you have a little hook on the inside that you can hook it to. So if you're going to be driving with this open, you have this little hook that you basically catch on. Everything's nice and new and tight, but let me get it in there. So that is your hook. And then what you do is you basically just pull that tight. And then that keeps that nice and secure when you have that down. And then when you're done, you just unhook it. And that goes out of the way. Anyway. Anyway, Brian from Garage Hall with your soft roll tonneau cover for your F-150 and your F-150 Lightning short bed. Be safe out there.